Joining us now is the political editor for the Daily Express, David Maddox. Now, I know David Maddox spends a lot of time in the House of Commons. I'm just wondering if either you've been speaking to MPs on the backbenches, whether they've been calling you up, confiding in you. How has the news gone down in Parliament?
Well, it's been a bit mixed, to say the least. There is some sympathy for Dominic Raab. There is a feeling, I think, that the threshold has been set very low. But it's, it feels like that this has been a slow kind of train crash coming for months now. And there's a kind of acceptance, really, that, there was a certain inevitability about it. And now I think amongst some quarters there are questions about Rishi Sunak's judgment about the people he chose to surround himself with, if you add the Gavin Williamson stuff along with Dominic Raab.
I mean, do you think there's any mileage in that, David, in terms of criticising the Prime Minister for his judgment in appointing Gavin Williamson and Dominic Raab in the first place? Or do you think that most people will think, well, it's not the Prime Minister's fault that there's a report that's found against one of his cabinet ministers? It's just sort of unfortunate.
I think it'll be hard for him to avoid criticism. Let's put it like this, because there were red flags on both men. Now both of them were very capable ministers as well, so very good reasons to appoint them. But there were red flags in the past about them, and of course it's all come out. But I think the Gavin Williamson one was much more straightforward. This business with Dominic Raab, I think there's a lot to run in it still, and there's issues around how the Civil Servants Act with ministers as well, which are going to be problematic going forward.
Now, we're reading what Dominic Raab put in the Telegraph. It seems to be an expanded version of his resignation letter. I know you know him well. How will he be feeling, and what do you think his next moves will be? Will he have got it off his chest and he'll go quietly to the backbenches? What will he be doing?
I think he will remain quite loyal to Rishi Sunak. I think he will be hoping to make a comeback. I think he's laid the groundwork for that by not really accepting the charges made against him. And you can see a route back in, maybe after the next election. If his government had longer to run, then, maybe in a year's time. But I can't believe he'll come before an election. But you could see a route back for him. If he's sensible, he'll probably go and do some work on, anti-bullying and all this sort of business. But this isn't the end for Dominic Raab. That's my gut feeling on it.
David, I just wondered, what's the feeling in newspaper newsrooms about all of this? Because, I mean, I'm not being funny, but they don't have a reputation for being soft, easy workplaces and with kind, understanding bosses who speak like Sergeant Wilson, ask if you'd mind awfully doing something. Is there a bit of nervousness going around these newsrooms at newspapers about how people behave with their staff there?
I mean, strangely enough, even in newsrooms, the culture has changed quite dramatically, certainly from the days when I entered the industry. I mean, bullying was the de rigueur of daily life, I'm afraid to say. But the kind of old hacks like me are probably a bit thick-skinned, saying, what's all the fuss about, frankly. But some of my younger colleagues a little bit more sympathetic towards the civil servants.